This is the Microschool Minute, your weekly dose of microschooling news and events.
In this week's edition of the Microschool Minute, former President Jimmy Carter passed away on December 29, 2024, at the age of 100. Carter, who oversaw the creation of the Department of Education in 1979, was honored with services in the nation's capital this past Thursday. This happens to coincide with questions lingering over the lifespan of the Department of Education itself. House Speaker Mike Johnson, during his recent press conference, reaffirmed a long-held conservative belief that parents, not administrators, must be in charge of their children's education. This statement aligns with the anticipated education policy's potential second Trump administration, which include advancing private school choice and possibly dismantling the federal Department of Education. Trump recently elaborated on this in a Time magazine interview, hinting at a virtual closure of the department to return control to the states. The Department of Education recently awarded over $250 million through the Education Innovation and Research Program. The funds are aimed at boosting academic recovery and scaling innovative evidence-based solutions. Key focus areas include STEM, educator recruitment, and student re-engagement. These initiatives reflect the Biden-Harris administration's commitment to leveraging data-driven strategies to accelerate learning and enhance mental health support. The Autism Cares Act has been extended for another 5 years, allocating nearly $2 billion for research and services, including early detection and intervention. The CDC reports a growing prevalence of autism diagnoses, emphasizing the need for continued support. In Tennessee, Senator Marsha Blackburn and Governor Bill Lee are championing an expanded private school voucher campaign. Governor Lee highlighted that students benefiting from vouchers are outperforming their peers with an impressive 99% parental satisfaction rate. The school choice movement is picking up steam across several states. While North Carolina's legislature has seen a shift in support, South Carolina gained crucial pro-choice seats in this past election. Missouri is poised for significant changes under Governor-elect Mike Keogh. In the Northeast, New Hampshire and Vermont are also reinforcing their school choice programs. And meanwhile, Idaho Governor Brad Little has pledged to support public funding for private education with built-in accountability. Indiana's 2025 legislative session has kicked off, with debates expected on private school vouchers, teacher certification, and charter school expansions. However, tighter state revenues and growing Medicaid costs might impact education funding. South Dakota has introduced House Bill 1020, aiming to establish educational savings accounts for private and homeschool students. Governor Kristi Noem emphasizes prioritizing low-income families, with plans to later expand the program to all students. Alabama's new ESA program is now accepting applications, offering up to $7,000 per student for various educational expenses. Louisiana is expected to also launch its program by March 1st of this year. The executive director of the Louisiana Association of Microschools commented, saying, "This is a win for parents, students, and citizens alike, as the results of personalized education will reverberate throughout the state, uplifting communities one at a time." Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs and Superintendent Tim Horn are at odds over the state's ESA program's audit process. The debate centers on a policy for automatic approval of expenditures over $2,000, raising concerns about potential fraud. In Utah, parents and students gathered at the Capitol over the holiday to advocate for homeschooling rights. Currently, the state requires an affidavit process for parents opting to homeschool. Parents are requesting a more streamlined process that makes parental choice in education more accessible. Meanwhile, Michael Strong has spent the past 35 years creating small, highly personalized schools where students flourish. Over the course of that time, he's seen hundreds of children who are anxious, depressed, sometimes even suicidal, becoming happy and well within weeks of switching from a large, impersonal public school to a small learning environment, which offered a closely connected community. Based on that experience, for the past decade, he's been looking at research showing the various ways in which small, high-touch learning environments may be more beneficial for student mental health than large public schools. Next, we look to Tampa Bay, Florida for this week's Microschool Showcase, where we find Angela Crowell, a former teacher who said she sensed public schools just weren't working for her children. So she decided to start the South Tampa Microschool that has grown from just 10 students when it first started 5 years ago to a private school of over 100 today. Angela explained that she thinks the moment public school wasn't really working for her kids is when she had to put her ideals aside to do what was best for her family. And it turned out that what was best for her family was best for a lot of families. If you know a microschool that deserves a shout out, drop a comment and let us know about the work that they're doing. Microschools are experiencing a significant nationwide growth driven by demand for small group learning and flexibility. There are an estimated 120,000 microschools serving over 1 million students in the United States alone, according to the National Microschooling Center, with a 2% market share in the American education system. Thank you for tuning in to the Microschool Minute, your weekly review of microschooling news and events. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you'd like to support us, consider leaving a review. From all of us here, Happy New Year and happy microschooling.